Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. Today we're going to be coaching a Vi player just on a lot of the basics, resetting at proper times, using mobility properly, pathing, just a lot of the basic things that you'll typically see in a lot of jungle coachings. So if you guys are interested in getting coached by a rank 1 solo queue player like myself, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through a link in the description to any of my Discord, or to my Discord server. DM me there, $25 for an hour of coaching. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
So I end up choosing, I don't know which one of them, but one is when I would say like I played perfectly, not really perfectly, but like as far
Pretty
as
good,
it
yeah.
goes. And the second one was me doing a bunch of stupid shit, and like I would just love an
Yeah.
insight on that
Alright,
because
do you see my screen?
yeah.
Okay. Is this the game that you think you did a bunch of stupid shit or no? Which one is that? Or you not
No, this is
remember?
when I played fine.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, initially pathing wise, I'd probably prefer Gnar Tryndamere just because Samira is going to be kind of hard to get, or Morgana's hard to gank rather. Caitlyn Maokai, pretty good gank setup, like not a bad lane, so kind of fine to go to either of these lanes in this situation. Like I wouldn't really complain about either choice. But overall, I'd prefer the solo lane because I expect Tryndamere to be more aggressive and do more stuff overall. But like I said, if you're choosing this, it's not that bad. I prefer Control Ward on my buffs. And again, by the way, I'm just going to be giving you a bunch of information initially.
That's fine.
And then like we'll write out notes to be more concise so you understand specifically what it is to work
Yeah,
on.
I know how it
Yeah,
works.
I just want to make sure because I know again a lot of
Yeah.
times it can be a lot of information, but initially I'd go Control Word on my buff. I prefer that because then if they word it or whatever, I see it. I don't really care if they end up killing my word because they can see like a control word. Like it's not a big deal to me because it's just
But
30 gold.
if they go to your blue and just destroy your ward, do you go there?
Yeah,
Like to
because well,
prevent
it
your
depends
blue
on
to
the
get.
situation. Most of the time, I'll still go there because usually it'd be like a mid laner killing it. They're not going to steal it, or if they do steal it, their pacing is going to be really bad because now they wasted all this time clearing my blue, and then they have to go red, and then they have to go to their blue. So then when they do all that stuff, I get my blue side cleared. I get to recall, and I can go back to blue side, and then like to their blue side, my red side, and then I have the
Yeah,
pacing advantage to get the first gank off. So I'm fine with the fact that they'll get a slight gold lead in order for me to get a better gank off. And again, they're usually not actually going to fully invade. If I know
yeah,
100% that they invaded it that early, then I can go invade their blue if I have enough prio. Does that make sense? Or do you have questions on that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's fine. I
Okay.
understand.
And then slightly faster to go this way around. So you clear these, you go this way, like instead of
Okay.
going this way. Really not a big deal, but it is slightly faster, and it also allows you to hit this. And hitting this is insanely important, like the Scryer's Bloom, because as you're walking, you hit it, then you immediately know where their jungler started. There's only two possible scenarios, well I guess there's three if you got invaded, but that's pretty rare. Two scenarios. One, the blue buff is up. If the blue buff is up, that means he's pathing to blue buff, he started red side. If his blue buff is
Oh
taken,
my God.
it means that they're going to the red side, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, usually I guess it depends on a game or like where my focus is, but I usually just punch it towards the middle to see if he has any
Um,
buffs there.
yeah,
Like
and you
now.
see now you don't get the information from it. And you also push
Yeah,
it
so
late, so your clear is also slower. Like you're at 119, or 115. Or no, 110. Okay, I can't see. It's 110. It's not that slow.
yeah.
I'm real quick just gonna pull up a video. I'm not in a rush, so I don't mind like unless you're in a rush and you want me to go quick
No,
through.
no.
But otherwise, I'm gonna pull up and I'm just gonna show you a Vi clear just so you can see like what it should look like, just to be slightly more efficient. Luckily for you, this is a champion I play a lot. A lot of times I'm coaching people. I don't really play the champion, and I'm mostly just coaching on macro. But I can coach you on specifics of the champion. So yeah, I'm just gonna find a Vi game, whichever one it is, and then I'll show you basically what to clear. If I start red, I guess I don't know. Here I start blue, so well, I'll just show you both because you're gonna want to start blue sometimes too. So
Yeah, in the
oh
second
wait, no, I do
game I
start red
did.
actually. I lied. So I do start blue here. Taking forever to load now. My Wi-Fi sucks. So here, initially, the time that I channel my Q, by the way, is 17 seconds. When this is at 17 is when I channel my Q onto the dude, okay, my
And
Wi-Fi
when it's
might suck
full,
too
you
much.
release it.
But yeah, it'll be full if I do it at 17, so that's why I do it like that. You see like the timing. It's a small thing, but
Yeah.
pretty basic.
It adds
You know how
up.
to,
It adds
yeah.
up. Yeah.
And yeah, so like then I'm doing this, and you're gonna see again. I'm walking this way, and then I hit the Scryer's Bloom right away. And what this does, it actually, the timing is perfect where my Q is about to come up, because I Q one time on these. Like, notice how I
On the
Q
start
these.
of
Yeah, but I Q these right here, and then that makes the cooldown pretty much line up perfectly, for the speed to just be slightly faster. And
Damn.
then we get this. And so when you see me hit the Scryer's Bloom, I see blue is taken. Now I know 100% he's going the same side as me. That information is super
Yeah.
valuable. And then everything from here is pretty much just like you would figure out how, and you can obviously go watch my VODs, but this is, nothing's complicated here. And then you can see by the time I kill my blue, it's like less than 130, like 128. So it's really, really fast. And then
Oof.
you can watch me do blue side clear on your own time. Like, it's, you know, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But there's that. So then I need to pull up the game again. So that's just a typical little thing. And then we'll look like when you finish your clear is going to be, as you can see, way later, right? Like 10 seconds. This is 20, or not 10, I was like 127. So you're like 12 seconds later than me, basically. And this is obviously, it can add up, because then the enemy can get a Herald, or I mean, not a Herald, a Scuttle. These types of things. So
What about your third ability? Do you just use it every time it's up, or
yeah, just auto
like
attack reset
after
with
an
it.
auto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just do that. It's nothing complicated with that. Good that you can test this here. And so then this is good information for us to have. So based on his level, how many camps do you think he's cleared right now?
He's left one out. No, he did full clear.
Based on his level, you think he's killed all 6 camps?
Oh no, he left one out. Yeah.
He left 2 because, or Scuttle. But how do we know that Scuttle is most likely taken? Because of the icon here. So you see how the icon currently is here, right? So it says that it's like it's a, and then look at it now, it's gone. So we can infer that he's taken it, because you can see this one is still there. So that's how it works. And then look at where he came from. So what do you think he did? He did the Scuttle, right? Clearly. And so if we look at it, he's killed Scuttle, and then you're still an entire level up. So one camp doesn't give you a full level, right? So how many camps have you killed after this? You've killed 7, correct? Scuttle and 6. So he's
6, 7, yeah.
So he's down to full level, because obviously, if we look again out of your level currently, you're level 5. There's no way that one camp would give him this entire XP bar, right? Like, that wouldn't make sense. Does that make sense to you? Why? So he's clearly killed 2 less than you, not just 1, which means he's killed 5. And we just said he's killed Scuttle. What other camps has he killed that you can guarantee 100% know based on the information on your screen right now?
I think he either left the wolves and the right side of blue buff to just go blue and then Scuttle, or he left off the Grags above.
Yeah, but we know he has his 2 buffs. You're right, because you see the buffs under his
Yeah,
eyes.
he
You know how
must
those
have
work.
done those. Yeah.
So we know he's done 2 buffs, and he's done Scuttle, which is 3 camps. So now, yeah, he's either done his full red side or his full blue side, or one of each. Like, as in, I'm talking about the small camps. So that information is super important to you, because now you see him going to his red side. And so if he's going to his red side, you can't really tell which he's done, because he's done a funky clear, because he's fucking Rammus and they do weird shit. But like, you know something's up. So maybe you look for an invade if you see an angle, or you kind of play more aggressive. Like here, you have Prio in the top lane with your dual lane, right? And you're up a level on him. Like, fight this guy to the death, you know? Like, make it, like, why are you not making his life hell? Like, where is he going right now? This is a camp, right? Like, there's no way he's not going to clear that. That must be what he's doing. So make him fucking sad, because how long until your next camp spawns?
Enough time for me to make a gank, which
is like, how much? Do you know the time, roughly? Like, the timer?
2:15? No,
2:30. 2:35. So, do you know how long it takes a camp to respawn?
No.
Okay, so a buff takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds to respawn. A Krug, or any small camp, takes 1 minute and 50 seconds. If you cleared the Krugs at roughly 40 seconds, which should be roughly when you do it, I don't remember the exact, but roughly, it'll spawn at 220. So I mean, we'll just go back. Like, again, I'm not in a rush, so I can show you specifically. So let's look at when do we kill Krugs. The one thing I don't know is if the it being dead timer starts when you kill this big guy, or if it waits till the small one. But either way, 42 seconds you kill it at, and then these ones die at 48. So it's either 40 or 50, roughly. So if it's at 50, it takes 1 minute 50 seconds to respawn. It's going to be 240. If it's at 130, or if it's at 40, 150, it takes 2... How can I do math? 230. So the point is, it's roughly 230 to 240. Did that make sense? I know I fucking can't speak properly, but...
It does make sense.
Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah, I know I'm explaining it a little weird. I'll write these things down to you, for you, obviously.
Yeah, I just wanted to do that, but you do it. You are faster. It's
Yeah,
just funny because I never thought about it
yeah.
like this way. It's
Eh,
nice to get some new insight.
And so if we have this information, the point is you have 30 seconds, right? Because it's 2:03. So we have over 30
Yeah.
seconds to do whatever the fuck we want, and we're up a level. So go fuck with this guy. Additionally, I just noticed this on your clear. I don't take W until level 4, because you put 2 points in Q. That way your clear is faster. Small thing, but also
But
just
so, do you prioritize the Q over the third ability?
no. It's QEQW. Does that make
No,
sense?
I meant, do you max out the third ability
Oh,
first,
max.
the
Yes, you max
punch?
the first ability. You max the first ability, then the third ability.
Okay.
So you're doing that properly. And so here it's still fine that you're like counter ganking him. Again, he's just wasting time. He hasn't even cleared anything. But like again, go fuck with him. Like this is good for you because you're higher level than him. You have ult, he has no ult. Like just go fight, and that's what you do. Yeah, no problem with that. So it was good. And again, we're just more efficient than him. Good play overall. Now you can just recall because we can see now we're at the time where it's 2:30. Your camps are going to start respawning. We'll see once these spawn. They will in 5-10 seconds, roughly. But trying to wait till there it is. So 2:38. So right around 2:30, 2:40. And so if you're aware of that, then we're just gonna we got to get out. And again, you end up getting out at the proper time anyway. And then the order is Sheen, then Phage, then Stinger. I don't know what you did. Yeah, you did Stinger. Don't do Stinger.
I just,
You
like,
just
for
buy them.
build sakes, I just buy stuff, yeah.
No, that's fair. But yeah, it's Sheen, Phage, Stinger. Again, these are all things I can write down for you. I'll try to remember. Otherwise, you remind me at the end.
Okay.
Otherwise, there will be the
No,
problem.
I did the, you can see the camera pen icon, and
Yeah.
that doesn't take me like further away. It's like 2 centimeters. I don't see shit if I move it. So that's one thing I need to adjust. And the second, what I saw is I don't check the scores often. Like
Yeah,
just
I
who is
don't think you ever
farmed and all
have
that.
yet this game, which is yeah, you should definitely be checking like minimum of once every like 20 or 30 seconds really, if you're like really playing focused.
But doesn't that, because it like disorients me, like based on how I'm moving then and all that.
I mean, you should be like you're checking for very specific information, so like it should take you maybe like a second or two to do it. So it's like right now, like cue this and then auto attack and then just check it right now. You know what I mean? Like you have nothing to do here. You're just sitting here. You can
Yeah.
check it as your champion's auto attacking, and that's all. And then all you're looking for is who's stronger and what items it, and then boom, like it takes you 2 seconds. You just look, is my teammate have more or less gold, and it's pretty much just
Yeah.
that.
I guess if
Um,
I just start doing it at some point, it will become natural.
yeah, it takes time. I mean, it takes time to get used to. And then here, there's a bit of an issue here. So you're just showing yourself for no reason. So obviously you're going to stay on your blue side because your blue's about to spawn. So I don't know exactly why you go here, because what this does is it shows yourself, because the minions will give vision of you. So now they know where you are. If you just went and hovered here, where no one can see you, then you could maybe get the mid laner if they show up. Otherwise, you just go and clear your blue once it spawns. We just don't want to be
Also, I
randomly
think
showing
there is a
ourselves.
control ward in that bush on the other side of my
In
blue.
this bush?
So yeah, I
Oh,
could
this
have
bush.
done that.
Yeah. So we just, again, just like a small time waste there. It's not like a huge deal, but it's, it's something. But no, overall, the clear thing, again, like the clear could be a lot faster, so we want to work on that. The jungle tracking, again, just keep track of these specific things, the specific timers of when your camps are going to respawn, to also know when their camps will respawn. And then again, doing that quick math of, again, knowing that you killed 7 camps, he killed 5, so that you can go fuck with him in his jungle. Instead, you didn't fuck with him. He's kind of able to
I was
stop for
really
you.
scared of Galio, like chasing him to his
Yeah.
wolves back then.
Well, yeah, so the reason it wouldn't have mattered if Galio chased him is a couple of reasons, and I'll
Brand
sort.
was also behind me, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like here, we'll just go back because again, we're not in a rush. 524 is when I'll go up, is where we were. Like if we look here, yeah, like your teammate is right next to you, and you're level 5, and you have flash. So like you have flash, you're level 5, you're never gonna die to them because neither of them are level 5. You're just overall stronger, and you're really good early game, and yeah, your mid lane is there. And like I said, you had top prio, like that was something I was mentioning to you, is your dual lane are winning. If your dual lane were hard losing, then like, just relax, recall, and go bot, right? So
Yeah.
if dual lane are doing bad, recall, go bot, and be there early. If dual lane are doing good, don't go there until 2:30, because 2:30 is when they start to spawn your next camps. So that's basically the gist of that. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then I don't mind forcing this, and yeah, you just kind of got to get out. You could probably flash out. You don't even need a flash. Maybe. No, you do. You're kind of greeting the flash a bit, to be honest. Yeah. But it ends up working out, I think. So I'd say you just don't have to be quite so greedy with your flash, but that's a small thing. I don't mind overall. If they show up again, I'm just gonna stop the recording and then we'll.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
But yeah. Okay. Either way, we just go back to clearing here again. And so once again, like I don't think you've actually clicked your scoreboard in 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So I don't know who's stronger. Like, I don't know if I want you to path towards dual lane or to Baron lane. But we want to go to whoever's stronger here. So if you're dual lane or much stronger, just start running into the dragon. You can ignore your one buff because your buff's respawning at the exact same time. I don't care. Don't get it. But if your Baron laner stronger, and it looks like he is because he's pushed up full HP, play around him. But yeah, we just basically want to play around whoever's stronger. And then you didn't need to ult here at all. Like, why didn't you need to ult here? Because Galio is going to just dash away after. So we might as well wait for him to dash and then follow his dash instead of doing this. And again, you're also just like, you shouldn't be able to kill him because he can also do things like flash away. So it's not even just the dash, it's also the flash. But you see how, again, if you waited for your ult until he's dashed away or flashed away or whatever, you can catch him. So we want to make sure in general when we're playing Vi that we wait until they use their mobility to use our ult to follow instead of using everything at once, basically.
But what about if you want to surprise them and you know that your Q won't close the full gap to get to him?
Then you can do that if you know you're going to kill them. But the difference is you have to know you're going to kill them there. So, like if we look here, you can't one-shot a Galio, right? Like, it's just not possible. You're not going to one-shot Galio. If this is like a squishy champion who's half health, then yes, you can do it just to one-shot them. But if you know you're not going to one-shot them, then it doesn't make sense because you need to wait until they use their mobility or else they're going to get away on 1 HP. But yeah, if you're trying to surprise them and you know you can blow them up fast enough, then it's okay.
No,
yeah,
I ask because I catch myself doing this a lot.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to ask. It's a question that makes a lot of sense, 100%. And then yeah, I mean, you go in here. I'm fine with you even kind of just like recalling. You don't really need to force an objective. And you could have farmed up to this objective even. You didn't even have to. So first of all, we need to, again, be looking who's stronger. You have no idea. You have no information. But you can clear up to this. Like, you're not going to rush this fight because your teammates or like their jungler's not like started it, so you're not in a rush. Just clear your camps. It's more efficient that way. And then you're still going to be in the same spot to fight. Nothing's going to... Because like we're going to see here, you're just going to sit here for a little bit. Like, all that's going to happen is you're going to sit here. Nothing's really going to happen right away. You could have used this time to clear camps, right? Like...
Yeah. I saw my top is doing good overall, and I just wanted to gank and then go to objective with 3 people.
But you see, like, you're forcing the fight when we have no information. Like, we didn't know where their jungler is. We still don't know who's really stronger based on our gold, because we haven't looked at the gold. And then you just go and you force under their turret when we could just be forcing a fight around the objective. So, like, the fight under their turret, like that, is going to be a lot more dangerous. You're going into their spawn, you're going into their, you know, like, choke points, whatever. If you're just fighting around the objective, it's more 50-50, because then you're in just a safer spot. So that's why it ends up being so low for you and so scary. So we can just kite the objective out and then make them fight around the objective instead of fighting under their turret, basically. Because they also have Morgana spell shield, stuff like that. Do you have any questions about anything we've talked about so far? Or?
No. I just wanted you to overlook I went objective with no smite.
I mean, it's fine, because the Rammus is not going to contest you, so, like, you're fine. Not really an issue. I mean, I think we got it anyway. I was looking at what... You got it, right? Like, you did?
Yeah, we got the objective.
I looked away for a second, because I was grabbing water, so that's why I was, like... And then, I mean, you can try to steal, you know, your teammate steals, so that's good. See, this is how your ult's supposed to be used. You see how, like, you're ulting to follow a dash when he's low? Like, this is, obviously, that was just because he was 1 HP. But, like, that's how we're typically using this ult a lot of time. Like, too many people just ult right away. The other time you ult is, like, you ult initially, and then you queue them backwards into your team. I'm assuming you know what I mean by that?
I know, but I never thought of that.
Yeah, so you can do that. It's not, like, in some cases it's the best if they're in ult range. But usually it's you get the first ability knock up and then you ult. Additionally, I prefer Sundered Sky Death Dance rather than Zeke's second. But Some people prefer Zeke's. It's a lot less damage and a lot more ult reliant, so I'm personally not a fan at all. And you still get pretty similar tankiness from getting Death Dance third, but like Zeke's is okay, but if you're also going Zeke's and Death Dance, you're getting a lot of armor, which is a little bit redundant. So yeah, I prefer Sundered Sky second. Zeke's isn't like bad necessarily. And then do you ever play to Q Flash? Or are you aware of how Q Flash works?
Yeah, but I like in ranked I don't use it yet because it's very hard for me to time both.
Okay, so this is one of these things where if we want to genuinely get really good at the game, we have to be okay with just fucking shit up. Like Thresh Flash Q, for example. I've played a bunch of Thresh. Initially, I would go into games and I would just Flash Q, Flash Q, Flash Q, or well, Q Flash. I would just do this over and over again. I would do it and sit in scenarios that make no sense because I'm practicing just to get better at it. Same thing, I would go and I would force objectives intentionally to 50-50 a smite so I could get better at smiting. In order to actually improve at the game, you have to put yourself in situations that you will fuck up sometimes, and you will mess up, and you will throw games from, in order to, in the long run, actually improve enough to be able to carry games. So if it looks like the optimal play, I want you to go for it. I don't want you to think like, oh, I might mess it up and be worried about it and overthink it. Because again, in the like watching me play Vi, how many times do I flash or Q flash? Like I do it a minimum of once a game. It is an extremely valuable spell that you have, or like a spell combo that you have to be able to do properly if you really want to get maximum value out of Vi. And it's not really something you can be scared to do. It's fine to fuck up, and it's usually not going to throw the game if you miss it. Because if you miss it, you still close the gap onto them. You just don't get the knockup. So like you're still there. You're still going to be able to do everything. So we look here. First ability flash onto these two people, they're going to instantly die. Like you're going to just flash onto them, they're going to auto attack them, they're going to die. And then you can use your ult to follow a third person, and it's way more valuable. Instead, you ult onto a Rammus with a Morgana shield, and then look at the gap. You know, this is taking you forever now. What could have taken you 2 seconds took you like 10 seconds. And then now you don't have your ult for this guy, and now he can run away from you. And now you don't kill him. So an additional kill is lost. And in a lot of scenarios, it's not going to matter. You know, for the game outcome, I don't think you're going to lose the game because you didn't get that one kill. But in a lot of scenarios, not getting a certain kill or not hitting that flash or that Q flash is going to lose you the game, or at least lose you a specific scenario. So that's something I do want you practicing, and I want you to be okay with fucking it up, because it's fine. I fuck it up still to this day, and it still gives me way more value from all the times that I don't fuck it up. And then also, I really like Gargoyle after second item. I would highly recommend, unless they have anti-shield, going Gargoyle after second item. It's insanely valuable, and it's only 500 gold. So. And then you should just ult Morgana, because, yeah, and you do, so that's good. And then this is where you would queue her into your team, which you do eventually. So that's exactly what I mean by the usage of the ult and then the Q. That was a perfect scenario for it, because your Q was on cooldown, and she was a little farther away, running away, so perfect usage of your abilities there. Yeah, everything is fine here. Until you got a little unaware of the Galio ult, I guess, but it happens.
Yeah. I tend to go in a lot when I'm
well, Vi is a pretty all-in champion, so it's fine. But yeah, there you probably should have just been a bit more patient. It is what it is, though. It happens. Yeah, I mean, we'll skip past this. And I mean, you just pretty much are hovering Baron now. Okay, so you probably maybe they're actually doing Baron. Are they really doing Baron without their jungler? I think they might be. I wouldn't really worry about that word. I would have just, yeah, they're doing it. So like I mean their jungler is dead, so you kind of want to just like, yeah, you pretty much just have to flip it. I mean, you should just get this, no? Oh, you choked it a little. So this is just like a panic thing. Like you knew their jungler was dead, right? Like you're aware, or like he's respawning, so he's not gonna be there. So we should be aware of this, and then know I don't have to time the smite perfectly. I just have to see it below 1,000. Like it can go to 800 to 600 because you're the only one with smite here. And if you just don't panic, like you're going to get this steal for free. And I know it's a pretty
in this moment it was okay, 4 of them are here, they know I'm on the other side and I don't have information on the HP.
Yeah, but you have
and
information
I'm like,
on the HP.
hey,
look at this word, 2,322. You have the information.
Yeah.
So I get before you didn't have the information, and so you weren't going over, and that was fine to make sure you have the but now you have the information. So at this point, again, you did it at like at 1,100. Just wait to see the number go below. You don't need to try to like force it like that. The time where you're gonna like force it is like if it's like a complete 50-50 flip and you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna combo an ability with it and it'll get low enough. But there you had more than enough time. So and that's obviously more of like a hindsight thing than anything. It's just like in the moment. Obviously, it makes sense. You're gonna panic or you're gonna, be more rushed because it's the Baron. It's kind of the turning point of the game, and it makes
Yeah.
sense. But there's multiple times again where it's kind of like just staying calm in a fight, having these basic things in your mind, like is going to make you calm and make you not panic in these types of situations.
I think that my like thought process at that moment was my dash charge is going to go off, meaning that I won't be able to dash through the wall and then just like going in and smiting if I can get it. Not
Yeah,
really being aware of the HP of Baron.
gotcha.
Also, a lot of the times I go in like this, they just like either lock you up or something, and you're
Yeah.
just not able to react.
And I mean, this is another time where we're just like, again, spamming ult on people. Like, basically, the main problem for you with your spell usage is just how many times you Q and ult immediately. Like, Q is not a gap closer to ult. This is not what Q is for. Like, every once in a while it's for that if you know that someone has nothing. So if you know they have no flash, they have no way of stopping anything, and I know my teammates can follow right after, you can Q and ult just to gap close. But most of the time, it's Q to get the knock up, and then ult to follow, or again, ult initially and then Q them backwards. One of these two things is 90% of the time going to be the usage of your ultimate. And when you do something like this, again, what are we not keeping track of? We're not keeping track of Black Shield, right? So then she doesn't get stunned. We get rooted in our tower, we die. And this is like, again, just lack of awareness of the spells the enemy have to respond to our stuff, and then not using our spells in the correct order leads to these types of situations. So
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I use this uh, Q ult combo just to start the fight most of the time.
yeah. And that is a reasonable, thing a lot of people do, like most Vise I coach, frankly, do. But yeah, it's just typically not necessary because usually you can close the gap naturally. Your first ability is a pretty long range. And so anytime you can get the first ability initially is just going to be better. But yeah, obviously it's situational. Sometimes, like I said, you do have to Q and then ult, but it's most of the time not the thing to do. And you were also kind of forcing when they had Baron and they had push and whatever. So like forcing a big fighter when they have Baron is kind of bad because the waves are pushing either way. So you're wasting time that you could be clearing the waves with. So we don't typically prefer that either. But yeah, I mean, then yeah, this is when ulting makes like a lot more sense. I mean, he has his ult, so it's still a little scary, and it looks like you will die from it. But this is a lot more of a reasonable choice. It does still work out decently well. But like again, that's more reasonable because you're using your ult to follow, and we can just see how much better it is in terms of the outcome a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you just clear the wave, and then you can farm. Nothing too complicated here. I'd probably recall though. Like you're half health and the objective spawning, and you have gold to spend too. So like the problem is now like we're going to be a lot weaker for this objective than we otherwise should be, which should be higher health and 1800 gold richer. So that would just be obviously a lot more effective. But instead, again, we're going to our blue. You don't really need to go farm blue randomly. Like we're hovering the Baron. This is what matters. It doesn't matter if we get one more camp. It also doesn't matter if we go and we fight around this situation. Like we want to again be around the Baron. Instead, you're going and you're getting caught around something that just doesn't matter. Like this objective doesn't matter for us. And luckily we survive. But frankly, it's just kind of luck there. It wasn't really like a intended outcome.
Good idea.
Yeah, it wasn't the best idea. So yeah, just control around the objective. So like if I'm kind of to reiterate the main things, your early game clear could use some work, but overall your early game pathing's mostly fine. We need to be more aware of our ability usage with the mobility, using ult, not just after Q immediately. We need to be better about being around the objectives. I wouldn't force this either. Their jungler is alive, but we need to be better around objectives, like actually group around objectives and force more, get more control over those rather than farming really heavily when the Baron is spawning, like farming the opposite side and forcing fights on the opposite side. And then keeping track of spells that the enemy have to respond. So again, like the Morgana Black Shield, we don't really want to engage in a Morgana who's full health when she has Black Shield. When we don't have the ability to like have someone follow up super well, they're just going to run away and root us under tower or something like that. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, are there other things we mentioned that you're remembering, or that I'm just trying to kind of reiterate the main points? But
No, but I do have a
yeah,
question. Uh, y- like you saw me go in and I basically forced a fight on the mid there, like what it is, half a minute ago from now, before I started Baron.
this one here.
Yeah, like 10 seconds back. Here I'm basically going ahead of my team and just scouting, but I know they are there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know in which cases is this a smart move and in which not? Because
Yeah. So
sometimes what will happen is just what happened here. So I will get caught by the enemy team, my team will follow, and they're 4v5 and it's just over.
okay. So tell me the information that you have right now and the information that you want to have. Like I know it's like a simple, but what information do you have and what information is important for you right now?
Our top and bottom are pushing, my team is back, but I see Caitlyn has what, half HP?
Mm-hmm.
And they are also gathering mid.
Okay. And
And
so
Baron is spawning.
with that information, what are your thoughts? Like based on the information you have, does it make sense to fight? Why or why not? And yeah, just basically that.
We are 10 kills ahead, probably have a gold lead, and our lanes are fine, so it does make sense to fight.
Okay, so you're
But
wrong, and I'll tell you why. So you're right about being ahead. You're right about lanes being pushed. If you're ahead and your lanes are pushed, you're right. Those are things that indicate that I want to fight. The reasons you don't want to fight here are you are sitting on 1800 gold. So even if you have a gold lead, unless you're ahead like 4000 gold in their jungler, you're not in a very good spot gold wise. Like you're probably roughly even to slightly ahead on items. Their Rammus is pretty shit, so you're probably still ahead a little bit, but you're not ahead a lot. Then you're 75% HP, your Caitlyn's 50% HP, your Nara's 50% HP, your Maokai's 80% HP, which means, okay, let's say you're ahead, I don't know, 6,000 gold. Again, you don't click the scoreboard, so I have no idea. But let's say you're ahead 6,000 gold. Well, you're 6,000, let's say you're right now, I don't know, 12,000 gold as a champion, but you're actually only spent 10,000, and then your HP is only 75%, which means 25% of your gold is probably not going to be utilized, you know, because the HP is gone, which means your armor doesn't get to block that additional 25%. Same with your teammates. So even though you guys have a gold lead, you have low HP, you haven't spent all your gold, and you also have zero clue where the enemy are. You know they're probably grouping around mid, but you don't know where they are. Additionally, you're forcing the fight on the wrong side. So the information that you want is information around Baron. Like, what does this do here? Do you care about this dragon? There's no dragon. It's not spawning. There's nothing there, right? So initially, fight needs to be forced around bot side because this is where the Baron is. Need to make sure we reset first to have proper HP. Because when we're ahead, we don't want to force a fight when we don't have the circumstances we want, which is high HP, gold spend, and waves pushing. So you're right about the waves pushing. You're right about the fact that all your team is there in a place that they can follow up, but you're wrong about the fact that you're strong enough to fight because of the fact you haven't spent gold and reset properly. Does that make sense?
it does, yeah.
Cool. And then again, you also don't have Gargoyle, which is really needed for you. Like I said, your itemization, you should probably have Sunder Sky second. And also, like, you walk up here pretty far by yourself and you just hit a Scryer's Bloom. That didn't do anything for you. And then it leads to you getting caught, so. And then, like, luckily you win the fight, right? But this is, again, was just kind of luck. So this is
Yeah,
the thing,
in most cases I would be shredded here.
And because you guys were ahead is the only reason that it didn't, didn't lose you the game.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you're still going to throw the game from that when you're ahead. But yeah, basically, we need to be taking into account waves pushing, which is good that you're paying attention to that already. We need to take into account strength, but we also need to take into account the actual gold spent and, again, HP bars. And then also where we want to fight, which, again, is we want to fight around the objective. Those are the things you're kind of missing there, and that's why it's not a good fight, despite you thinking it was. And then here, forcing this is just a little risky. Their Rammus, luckily, is dumb, doesn't reset, so it's fine. But I don't really like this when two of our teammates are dead. Again, we don't need to take unnecessary risk when we're ahead. Does it make sense why you don't need to take unnecessary risk when ahead, or no?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see how they would come here and disrupt this Baron right now.
Yeah,
Because they do have to defend
current
Rammus
information.
down.
So based on what you see 5 seconds later, I agree with you. But based on this current information, you don't have enough information. Because what should you assume right now? Where should you assume Morgana and Rammus are right now?
In their blue side of the jungle.
Why?
Because they need the info on the Baron.
Okay, so a fight just happened here, and they're low health and they're backing off. You should infer that they've recalled. They should have recalled here. Like, this is what you think. They're low health. The fight just ended. They just I think they just kill your Caitlyn or Maokai or whoever. They will reset now. 99% of the time. Now, you're playing against bad players. They don't. They're stupid, right? Sometimes that happens. But you're right about the fact that they're going to eventually check Baron, or they should. But they should have reset and then check Baron. And if they did this, so if they reset, how long do you think, if right now they just reset, let's say they got in their base at 15:45, how long do you think until they can come to you with a
10
Rammus?
seconds.
10 seconds. So let's say 15:55, right? 15:55, this becomes a 50-50 if they're reasonably skilled. When do we kill this?
Oof. They definitely have enough time.
They have more than enough time. And luckily they're idiots, right? So then we don't see that as a problem. But it could have been a problem. So questions about that, or does that all make sense?
No, it does make sense,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Then also, there's an issue here. So watch how you play the fight and tell me what the issue is. What's the issue?
I'm focusing Samira and no.
No, that's not the issue.
My team is not there.
Okay, so mechanically speaking, based on what we've been talking about, look at what you do. And again, I'm trying to get you to identify it because I know like it's easier if we're just like actually figuring it out rather than me just telling you. I'm going to tell you after anyways. But look at how you play again.
I just ult straight away.
Yeah. And so what's Samira going to do after this?
Dash. That's what you said for Galio in the middle. It's
and then what's she going to do now? She's now going to ult you. So for Samira, why is Vi really good into Samira? Because you can ult her when she ults, right? But not if you ult her before she ults. So you need to wait until you can cancel it. So the same way that, yes, you need to wait till she dashes away, you also need to wait till she ults. So these are the additional spell tracking things to keep in mind. Use your ultimate, yes, to follow dashes, and also to cancel key spells like a Katarina ult, a Samira ult, whatever else it is. But you're not keeping track of those spells, and you're just like, go in, go in, go in, go in. And the only reason any of these things are working is because you're fed. Like, these choices aren't choices that are good. They're just choices that work when you're ahead. But when you're behind, they're going to be extremely poor. Whereas you can always kill a Samira, even if the Samira was 3k gold ahead of you, if you're canceling her ult. You're always going to kill her because you're just a better champion than her in a 1v1 in that type of scenario. But she will outplay you and kill you if you don't track these spells properly and you're not super ahead.
But when you are spell tracking yourself, do you take in account like what's the cooldown of their spells as well? Because like how do you know if they built an item that lowers the cooldown, it's a different number than initially?
Yeah, so it's all a rough guess. So it's like, I'm not, you know, as much as I'd like to pretend that I'm some super genius who's memorized every champion cooldown and how all of the math works out on every item, I have no fucking clue. But I can infer, like, okay, Thresh Hook is probably roughly 5 to 10 seconds, right? Like, that's a typical cooldown of a hook.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a 40-second cooldown, you know, it's not an ultimate, but it's also not gonna, you know, it's not an ability you can spam over and over. So it's probably roughly 5 to 10 seconds. So if I see Thresh go hook, I go aggro for 5 seconds, and then I back off. Even though his hook's probably not coming up for 3 more seconds, I'm not gonna teeter on the edge of that exact timer. I'm just roughly aware of it. So that's how I'm keeping track of cooldown. It's just like, oh, he just used that spell. He's not gonna have it for a while. I can do some shit. It doesn't mean that I'm literally thinking 1, 2, 3. Like, I'm not counting.
Okay.
And then with Samira Ultimate, are you aware of how Samira works?
Yeah, I'm aware of all the champions, but like,
I wasn't asking that in a sarcastic manner. I'm just saying, like, genuinely, some people I coach, they just don't know certain spells. It's normal for people.
Yeah, I know.
The point is, you can see her ultimate because of the S rank, right? Like, so you know when she's gonna ult. So like, you see it's red when you go on her, and then whenever you go on her, I think it's here you go on her actually. And so again, look at when you ult, right? It's yellow, it's not red. And then you ult her, and then now she becomes red and she can ult you. And luckily you killed her before, so it didn't matter. But like, this is what's important, right? We're not keeping track of the fact that it's now red and she can ult. So
yeah,
same kind of thing. But again, we're fed, so we can kind of just be Vi, and it's fine. You could honestly have even done there.
No, but like, it's not. It bothers me how much information is inside the game more than it bothers me how much information you're giving me. Because like,
I get you.
no,
and it's gonna take time to get these things, and as it goes to improving, like, you should only find 1 or 2 things of the things I'm telling you at a time to think about, because otherwise it's overwhelming. So like, go into the game and just think, okay, I just want to use my Q ult properly, and I just want to keep track of spells properly, and those are the only 2 things I want you to work on for the next, this is a random number until you feel like it's better, but say 3 days, right? 3 days of games, you're just thinking about those
Yeah.
things. And then, okay, now that kind of becomes a habit. You get better at it. Now you can add one thing and then still kind of keep track of those other 2 things. But now you go on and you just keep doing that. And that's how I improve. I haven't like suddenly gotten, really good at the game over the course of a day. It's been 3 years of constantly grinding. And I find one thing to improve on at a time. I get better at that. We go on to the next, and we go on to the next, and we go on to the next.
Yeah.
And your building also sucks. So you need to remind me to tell you about the building. Do you know why your build sucks here?
I just clicked the popular and build it.
So the reason your build
Uh,
sucks is because you have 3 armor items and only 1 magic resist item, and your magic resist item is actually partially just an armor item as well, because it's Twin Guard, and they have Morgana, who melts tanks like you, and they have Galio, so they have a decent little bit of AP. And you don't have very much HP to follow, because Zeke's I don't think gives any HP. I might be wrong. Death Dance gives no HP. Guardian Angel, no HP. So you're basically no HP. And if you don't know how it works, HP and resistances have an optimal number of like how much you need of each in order to be most effective, to give you the most effective HP. I think the math behind it is something like 750 HP for every 100 armor, or maybe it's 750 bonus HP for every 100 armor. I forget which, one or the other. The math specifically doesn't matter. Again, I'm not doing this math in my head. The point is, you need some HP, you need some armor, and if they have both AP and AD, you need both, like some armor and MR. And you're not having enough HP or enough MR in this build, which again, I'll give you a build that's going to just make it a bit better. And we'll talk about specifics. We'll write them down, same thing. Your build's not bad though, by the way. It's like fine. Like it's not going to lose you most games. It's just a little suboptimal. So then once again, are you going to ult Samira before she ults, or are you going to wait this time? Okay, you're just gonna run away.
I am
Which is fine.
incapacitated.
You are that. Yeah, that did happen. No, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, you got an alarm going off. But also, you still don't have Gargoyle, by the way. Like, you don't have an enchant for some reason. Like, you should buy a Gargoyle after second item. So that's the other thing. Because it just makes you so much tankier. Like, and then yeah, I mean, you can try to get Baron off this, or you can try to force because you might just be able to end. So it's fine either way. Okay, so you win. We'll write down the notes after the next game, but questions about anything before we go on to the next one, or are you good?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. And I also just want to point out, you play the same every game. Like, you're not going to play that much worse or better than you played last game. You told me you think you play really bad this game, really good the game before. I can almost guarantee
No,
you that... Go ahead, sorry.
The other is worse.
You thought the last game was worse. Okay, so you're not going to play that much differently in this game, in my opinion. Like, you're maybe going to... The outcome will be different. It'll look better. But, like, the choices are going to be the same. That's almost always what I see. Maybe you're going to prove me wrong, you know. It's weird because I've never been wrong before, so who knows. But maybe it'll be the first time. That was a joke, to be clear. But either way, I really doubt that we're going to see that much different decision-making. We're just going to see different outcomes. And that's usually how it goes as it relates to most gameplay. So it's really just about the habit building. Consistently speaking, you're going to be probably making the same mistakes and doing the same things. That's kind of why I do 2 replays. One, we kind of have the initial things we think we need to work on, and then we can solidify that, see what consistently feels like a mistake versus maybe there were some just individual mistakes for that one game. Again, I kind of would prefer to hit Scribe's Bloom so you have the information on their jungle, but everything's fine. I mean, also, these are the other things I forgot to mention. You need to be scrolling your map a lot more to the map, like to look at your laners, right? Like how they're going, how the lanes are going, so you can see if they blow a flash or they do other things. So as you're clearing, every like 5, 10, 15 seconds, scroll your map to the laners, see how it's going, and then again, click scoreboard, because we never click scoreboard. So like, I actually don't know if you clicked scoreboard that entire last game. You probably did once or twice, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think when I'm dead, I
Yeah,
just tend to
yeah.
open it and stare into it.
Yeah, that's fair. And here, I mean, their jungler, again, so their jungler shows, and he's trying to double scuttle you. You need to scroll over and look at his level, because you need that same information I told you about with the Rammus, where you look at his level to see what camps he hasn't cleared. Because he's not been super efficient so far. He's definitely missed a camp. So you need to know that he's going to be like this level, like this level 4 with this many, like the bar is going to be there. And so he's going to have one less camp cleared. We need to figure out what that is, or at least try to. And it looks like you're trying to see here, and it's Gromp. So you actually use the information, but you could have scrolled and made sure, but you didn't, you know? and we need to just
Yeah.
gather that information. But yeah, I can tell like that's what you were thinking. You just didn't look, but it's still a really good
Yeah,
choice from you to
when
look
I
for it.
when I see if they take just like my mirror scuttle, then I'm like, okay, his clear was faster. I go back and try to contest the other one.
Yeah,
But if he goes double, I'm just like, nope, you left the cam
yeah.
behind. I'm gonna punish that.
And it's good that you did that. That's a completely correct choice. Everything with your choice again is correct. I just want you scrolling your map, and that's really the only difference. But everything else was perfect. You did exactly how you should. So that's good. And now you're just looking for a gank here. I don't have a problem with that. Go back to caps.
Yeah, when I was at the bot, I saw them under tower. I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, can do.
I think everything's fine here. I wouldn't really try to gank a full health. And it looks like you see his camp is up for some reason. So he's just being super inefficient. So like shout out to him.
Nasus was actually killing the small minion here. And I was
Oh,
like,
Nas. I didn't even see that. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
I'm not really concerned with ganking a full health Renekton with ultimate though. Generally speaking, it's going to be pretty hard to do so. And this is the ult usage. So as I said, we're going to see the same mistakes. What is your mistake here?
I should have chased his dash.
Yeah. But so that's the first mistake, but you shouldn't even be fighting him. You shouldn't be fighting a full health Renekton into a Nasus when you're level 6 because now you're losing all your camps. Like realistically, Shyvana should have invaded you right now. She should have known. Why should she have known? Because she should know that you started red, or you started blue, I mean, then went red. And if you started blue, then you went red. You're going to go back to blue at 2:30, and you're going to go back to red. Your camps are going to start respawning at 3:45 roughly. That's just how the timer works, and in the 4 minutes, they're all going to be spawned basically. So if she's a human, she knows that, and you get fucked here. Luckily, she's probably not human. But when you try to force the ganks like that, you end up being kind of screwed over in terms of your timing. And then yeah, you can get invaded, or you just fall behind in terms of your pacing, which then means you're just gonna not be able to clear your next camp as fast because they won't respawn as fast. You lose out on gold, whatever. Now, if that was a Rammus who was, or if that was a Renekton who was half health and really easy to kill, then you can give up some camps because it's like a free kill, so that's fine, right? But that's a different scenario. So
Yeah.
this is a little unfortunate. I'm not really that. Even though I know you're probably gonna die or at least lose your flash, I don't really have that big of a problem with your choices there. Yeah, like the reason I don't have that big of a problem with your choices is because you see a low health Veigar and you're thinking you can kill him. I think it's a reasonable choice. Now, ideally, you would have Q flashed this guy, right? Like if we look at it, we were talking about the Q flash. You could have done that to close the gap, but choice-wise, I don't really have a problem.
And would probably get the kill as well.
Yeah. And so that's why we just want to get used to practicing that mechanic a lot. But yeah, like I said, some mistakes are mistakes where I'm like, yeah, that was a big issue. This one really wasn't. Outcome sucks. You're gonna make those mistakes, but it's not huge. What's the problem here is that you're sticking around here. You need to farm all your camps, right? Like, just go and farm your shit. You have full blue side up, and now our entire blue side's not being cleared as the dragons or as the herald spawning. And now we're just again forcing a random fight on a strong early game Renekton, where we're gonna lose health. We're gonna be low health, and then now we can't get the objective because they can contest us for free. When we could have just farmed our camps.
Yeah, Shyvana got a dragon in meantime.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
Is,
go ahead.
in a second, you will see one more very much more stupid thing that I do.
Going and contesting her. Yeah.
With
and you don't even have smite. You don't even have smite, so it's like, yeah. Like,
I was just like, what HP is she? Like, why is she alone there? And I'm like, yep, I could maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell it was silly. There's not a lot to talk about. Obviously, it happens. Sometimes we do those things. But yeah, I mean, in general, you're just kind of getting overly concerned with these objectives and with these fights before objectives instead of farming. Like, our main goal at the 5-minute mark is to make sure all of our camps are cleared by like 5:30 so that we can contest objectives. Whereas again, if we look at like what you're doing around 5 minutes, is like here, you're going for a fight even though both your red side and your blue side are spawning. Like, you're sitting here waiting, and then by the time you go here now, then you go mid, and you're basically just wasting time where like you had like 40 seconds to clear all of these, and instead you only cleared 2, and you didn't get anything out of it. Like, you got like a wave.
But in this situation, when Twisted Fate is on top,
yeah,
do you defend the tower or not?
Yeah, you can defend the tower, but there was no reason to defend the tower this early because again, like the problem is the fact that you're sitting here. Like, you're sitting here for no reason. We're wasting time, and then even like before like again, like we just have so much time where we're just like forcing this random fight here, right? Like this one's getting not that bad, but it's just like again, we're losing out on all this time where we can just be clearing all of our camps, just going for them right away. So like we just sit here, you're like looking for this fight, and then luckily nothing happens. So then okay, we wasted 5 seconds, not the end of the world, but okay, this 5 seconds then means that now we try to go contest this topside fight right away instead of getting our camps cleared first. Then we go to the topside fight, we kill Renekton, but you don't actually get value from killing Renekton because then they're able to get Herald for free. Herald's going to give a guaranteed 250 gold and usually more. So then now great, we got a 300
then I
gold
also
kill.
die.
Yeah, and then, I mean this death is just silly. It's a separate silly thing. But the real issue again with you is just that you're not concerned with clearing your camp super hard before the 5-minute mark, or before the 6-minute mark rather, before the camp spawn, before the objective spawn. I can't fucking speak. Before the objective spawn. So we need to be more aware of that. But it is what it is. For whatever reason, I can't speak today. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that you're like the third person I've coached, so my brain is like bad. I don't know. But either way.
No,
I
it's
like that
fine.
you're contesting the wave here. Like that's good. And I would just go get the turret, honestly. Like I would just go get the turret and then go after to the fight.
Yeah, Shyvana is really fed here. I see a bunch of low people just fighting. Like when I see a bunch of low level enemies in this situation, I don't know. I turn off my brain.
And I
just
think it's
like,
fine for you to go fight. The problem again is just like order of operations, right? It's we clear our camps, then we go to the objective. We push the wave, we get the turret, then we go to the fight. Do you really think that they're gonna all be gone here if you go and quickly kill this 1 health turret? Like they're still gonna be there. Look at them. Like they're sitting here for a while. You're gonna have time. They're not like you might not kill the Shyvana possibly, but you probably would because you'd be able to cut her off from the jungle, and you're still gonna kill the Varus and the Thresh. And then that aside, your issue here is that you flash onto this guy. You're panicking. Like you can first ability him and just kill him, but instead you flash. Like your first ability is up there. You were gonna kill him, but now you don't have flash. And now look at this. Like now it's hard to kill Varus, right? I don't remember if you kill him still, but like now you don't have flash. You still do kill him, but it's a little bit scarier, right? Like it's a little less likely. And then you can't flash out or you can't flash on him. Like and then it might lead to you dying. And so yeah, like you do die, you don't somehow. So it's just fucking funny. But again, we're like nearly dying because we use our flash incorrectly. Luckily we survive, but I think we can kind of see how this could be an issue, right? I like that you control the wave there. Like that's good. Play your blue side, play your red side, and I mean this is just everything here makes sense. The problem is again we haven't reset. So like at this point already, the objective is spawning. You already have your item. You don't need to farm every camp now because the objective is spawning. So basically, you are not farming enough in between objectives, and when objectives are spawning, then you're not like specifically concerned with fights. So a fight 30 seconds before second dragon is going to make a lot more sense than a fight 2 minutes before second dragon. 2 minutes before second dragon, we need to make sure we get all the gold, we push out the waves, then we take the fight when it's convenient. Whereas we need to make sure we're fighting a lot quicker and ready to fight on objectives like when they're closer to spawning. So what you should have done here is you recall because you have your item, and then you go and fight afterwards. Instead, you go and you farm all this, and then now we're super late. You haven't even reset, so now you're fighting with 2,300 gold not spent. And then you're just a lot weaker as a champion. Again, like you are mega weak here. It doesn't matter that you're doing decently well in terms of gold because you haven't spent any of your gold. And we've seen this issue multiple times from you. It's kind of not spending the gold, right? So.
Yeah, I think that the jungle timers will be definitely the first thing I will have to work on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, efficiency and the timers are generally the main things that I see most people. And again, you need to buy Gargoyle. Like that already will make your game so much easier. And here I'm fine with grouping around Baron and looking for a fight. Again, if you have Gargoyle, you can stall for an hour here, and it's actually like so good. But instead, we have to run away at 1 HP. But I think your team still does not that bad. So. Dude, your Zeri flashed into him. Okay, that's just tragic.
Yep. I don't know what happened there.
Unlucky. It is what it is.
But at this point, Shyvana was like 11-1. I think I checked the score at some point, and I'm like...
There you go. Yeah, she's 13-1. And again, at this point, it's all the earlier things we did that kind of lead to this, but like now it's like unlucky, you know, like we were outscaled. Shyvana Veigar, like it's hard. And you're kind of forcing a fight instead of just clearing the wave. I mean, you just like dash on him for no reason. I guess you catch this guy, so I mean, shout out to him for being dumb. But and Shyvana will probably just fuck you all. And since they have Baron, I mean, all that time that you're fighting in mid, they're just pushing sides. I'm skipping through because these are a lot of just like it's just they push
Standard
Baron and they
defending,
win.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like not much to see here. Yeah, and I mean, I'm fine with you. Do you want me to mute that, or do you not care about that one? Or I mean, edit that out? Do you want me to edit these out? It's okay
I
to say
don't
yes.
really
So
care.
you don't care?
I
Or
don't
you-
really care.
Okay.
No.
I'll edit the other one out that you, but this one we'll leave.
Yeah.
If you do though, I don't mind. Like it doesn't matter. And yeah, I mean, again, like I know I'm like skipping through this. It's just like this one, like it makes sense. Like you're ulting like late because he's running away. Like this is when it makes sense.
I
So, like,
wanted to dash into him, but he
yeah,
dodged.
and you see how you miss your first ability. This is fine. There's no problem with this because then you ult later once he's running away. This makes way more sense. Whereas again, a lot of times before you were ulting earlier, and you also do keep messing up your auto attack reset. Like a lot of times you're trying to auto dub or auto E, but you keep Eing before you actually auto.
Yeah, and it actually delays like my
Yeah.
attack or my ability. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
And so that's just a timing thing. Again, these are the random things. You can go into a game, into 5 games and just only think about your auto resets. Like it's just about habit building. It doesn't really matter that it's like a silly little thing. It can be something that matters, so you build up that habit. Even those simple things help you with the timing. And then I'd
Yeah.
probably force a Baron because we're behind and we had them killed briefly, but I guess we're probably just forcing a fight around here eventually. And again, if we have Gargoyle, we are just so much more OP. And then target priority too. Why would we target Reng or Renekton when we could target Veigar? I don't care that Renekton's low health. This Veigar's easier to kill, by the way. I don't care that he has more HP. He's easier to blow up than a Renekton. Like Renekton's just a tankier champion. And we can have patience to wait for our teammate to walk in. But yeah, again, like you manually chose to go on Renekton, and then we see what happens. He ults, and now you used everything to kill Renekton. Renekton is not the person in this fight who matters. Veigar matters a million times more. And luckily your team is kind of winning anyway, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
But,
no.
And I'm pretty sure you could just end top, yeah.
We actually
Okay, cool.
win.
I'm gonna show, or you still see my screen. So I'm gonna write notes out for you now. Do you see my screen? You're not Shyvana, you're by.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So, and you still see it, right? Sometimes when I full screen, it's weird.
Yeah.
First thing was control ward buff. So I'm just gonna be starting to go through all the, I'm thinking about the first game first, and then I'll be going through everything, chronologically the best I can. If I forget to mention something, or something I type doesn't make sense to you and you want me to word it differently, just let me know, because obviously I'm going to send these notes to you, so it only matters that it makes sense to you. But yeah, that's the first thing. Then generally speaking, do not Q then alt. Then alt right away. Use alt to follow mobility, usually. Also can alt then Q them backwards. Only Q and insta alt if we can one shot. Target priority. So again, we're just kind of going through randomly at this point, honestly. My brain is scattered today for whatever reason, but target priority. Again, we're just gonna write this as a general note. I think you understand what I mean by that, right? Like targeting the squishy champion or the key carry, that type of thing. Spell tracking. Do you need me to elaborate on spell tracking, or do you know what I mean by that?
That's definitely important, and I know what it's about. Yeah.
Cool.
Just put also jungle timers and objectives.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah. So jungle timers, the general jungle timers. So, I'm trying to think of how I can word this. I mean, I've written it so many times for other people. Maybe I should just look through the notes eventually. Might be easier. I have a bunch of notes with like different people where I write the same things. Well, we have this note that buffs and
Do people actually lose those notes and ask you for them again, or?
Oh, I send them to them in Discord, so I don't think so.
No, yeah.
Well, you're a member, aren't you, or are you not? Of my.
Yeah.
So you have access to all my coaching notes. I mean, I don't update them super often. I update them like once a month.
Yeah.
But
you sent me those.
But yeah. So I'm trying to see. Otherwise, I'm just gonna write it down again. Whatever. So If we start red, our red side spawns again around 2:30, then blue around 3:45, then red again around 5. Reverse this if we start opposite side. And use this to track enemy jungle. So basically the point is, say you start on your red side, you then clear your blue side in a normal full clear, and around 2:30 is when your red side starts running again. Again, you go back then 3:45 to blue and then 5. Does this make sense, or do you have questions on that?
No, it makes sense. Just add in their scryer to the enemy blue.
Oh yeah. Click. I don't even know how to spell scryer. Scryer's bloom.
Yeah.
On enemy buff. Track them. Yeah.
Nice.
That. Definitely other things we talked about. The build. I definitely gotta mention the build. So for build, Trinity, Thundered Sky. So you're gonna go defensive boots, right? And are you aware of like when to go which defensive boot or?
Yeah, I just as I said, I mostly build just what's in the preset,
Recommended, yeah.
but if I see they have like 4 AP or 3 AP and 1 tank, I just go magic defense.
Yeah. And so this is a typical build, situational tank item. Like if they're full AD, don't go Force of Nature, obviously. Are you aware of situational items, or do you want me to elaborate at all?
I mean,
It's fine if you want me to elaborate.
elaborate. Yeah,
That's what I'm here for. Like that's totally fine. So
yeah.
Randuin's into crits, Frozen Hearts into attack speed, and obviously this means like they have a lot of crit or a lot of attack speed, etc. Force of Nature into AP. What other ones am I missing? You can go Ma and AP, but nah, I'd probably just prefer Force of Nature. Why is my mind blanking? Oh, Thornmail, the
What
anti-heal.
time do you build Guardian Angel?
When you want to lose.
What do you mean? You don't think it's a good?
No. So they have the same purpose. Death Dance and the Guardian Angel have the same purpose. Whereas you get the same amount of AD, you get a better passive from Death Dance because the damage mitigation is significantly more useful than GA passive, because if you use GA passive, you die, they're just going to blow you up right after because you don't have a good way to get out. Jarvan likes GA because Jarvan can EQ out after GA procs because he gets his cooldowns back quick enough. But Vi, her Q has to charge up, so they're going to just cancel your Q by the time your Guardian Angel procs. So it gives you armor, it gives you attack damage, it's the same purpose as Death Dance, but it's 400 gold more expensive and has a worse passive.
True.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. I used to go GA on Vi to be fair, but I don't recommend it anymore. Yeah.
But so what are some junglers like Jarvan that would you like benefit from having GA?
I mean, no jungler. GA is a shit item right now. I wouldn't even go it on Jarvan. It's just a bad item right now. Like it's just too expensive, with not enough stats and a passive that's just not that useful. So it's really just a bad item, unfortunately. But
I think just the revive side of it gives you a false sense of worth.
It feels really, really good because every once in a while it saves your life and it's like, holy shit, I just won the game. But it's just rare that it's actually that effective. But yeah, situational items. I mean, this and AP. I don't think there's really other ones. I might be missing one or two. You can DM me if you have questions about the build and like you see like, oh, you built this. And obviously sometimes as well, you can, instead of Twin Guard, you can go one of these situational items instead. So I guess I'll write it here too. Like this could also be a situational tank item. Like if they have full AD, then you're just gonna go, you know, Randuin's or Frozen Heart, whatever works. And, yeah, Thornmail or whatever. Any questions about the builds?
No, it's fine.
Oh wait, I forgot to fucking tell you to build Gargoyle after second item. Yeah. But yeah, what's up?
I will need to just spend some time in the item section as well, like out of the game, because I don't have much knowledge about those.
Yeah, for sure. Then just like, proper setup. So proper setup around objectives. Setups. Do not force fights on opposite side of objective. Like I'm thinking about the one, where you told us like I was
Yep.
asking you why you thought it was a good fight, and I was telling you it wasn't a good fight because of low health and whatever. Do not force fights on opposite side of objective when ahead. And then do not take random risks when ahead. And then also, before engaging, look at gold spent, enemy golds and strength, teammate health, your health, enemy location. I'm just writing a bunch of things you need to keep in mind, which is again why this is a game of information, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, which is why again it's like one day you focus on only looking at these different factors, right? Just random things like
Yeah.
that, and then reset to spend gold before objectives. Many times you're just not spending your gold, and then you're fighting when you could be mega strong, and instead you're just a normal champion because you haven't spent your gold. There are a lot of things I can think of. Do you remember other things we mentioned or anything like that?
No, I think like if I correct 3 of those, I will be buffed.
Well, that's good then.
But it's funny because you actually like I didn't expect to get this information out of it because like in the moment when I'm playing, it's just like, yep, I was greedy here, or
Yeah.
like my team wasn't behind me, or like I went in alone, or whatever. But like if I take into account all this other information, I think that like most of those situations would change with it.
Yeah, and it takes
So
time.
that's
So
very
like don't
good.
expect it to immediately change, right? You're still gonna have a lot of the same
Oh,
things, but yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
even think I play for like half a year. I
Yeah.
play like 4 months maybe.
Oh, oh,
So yeah. Also, one important thing about the camera panning.
yeah.
I'm trying to get into game. Yeah, I just logged in. So, what settings do you have for that? Because I did find. I was at one of your streams and asked where
The
the
semi-lock
setting
camera?
is. Yeah, but yeah, now I don't know where it is again. But it's panning a very short distance. So I can't actually look to the lane, but it just like pushes it a bit to the
Well, are you
right.
talking about the
And I get
eye? The eye?
yeah.
Yeah, no, so you camera panning, like if you're trying to look at the lane, you just use your thumb on like the middle of your screen and you just drag it super far. The point of the semi-lock camera is to permanently keep your screen at a slightly different angle so that you can see slightly further in front of you or slightly further behind you. It's just to have a bit more vision in the fight on the places that matter. Because like instead of your character being in the middle of your screen, your character is on the bottom of your screen so you can see everything in front of you if like no one's behind you, for example, or vice versa. So the point of that is just to keep your camera permanently locked there until you tap the eye again. But the
yeah.
panning that you're talking about, you're not hitting the eye for that. You're supposed to just drag the middle of your screen and look there.
Okay, so when you are for example doing a buff or whatever and you won't check the lane that you will gank, you just like don't use the eye thing, but you just pan from the middle.
Yeah, exactly. And then I also forgot to mention, by the way, I'm writing in the notes right now, look at scoreboard way more, and pan map to lanes way more. I forgot to mention those things.
Yeah, those
But
two
yeah.
are kinda obvious.
Yeah. So, do you have any other questions or anything like that? Or
No, I think we are fine.
okay, then I'll see you later and good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Bye.